Hi, Anita, Narayan here. Welcome back to the second video, Why Personal Development Does Not Work. In the first one, I talked about factors such as emotional readiness, poor absorption and poor internalization of information. Here I cover three more themes: poor practice, personal development as a science and an art, and the imbalances that happen when we don't address personal development on both those levels. So, one of the reasons that personal development fails for so many people is down to poor practice. Because, folks, at the end of the day, personal growth is both a science and an art. And by that I mean science is to do with the mechanics of personal development, the what you have to do in order to grow. And the art is about the skillful application of that knowledge. And we need to address personal growth on both those levels. Otherwise, we get an imbalance in our growth. So, for example, there's a lot of talk about success mastery, and much emphasis in coaching and teaching is on success, with little emphasis on how to deal with setbacks and disappointments. Now, part of the fabric of success is to learn how to develop resilience and mental toughness along with strength of character, and they get learned in disappointments and challenges. And when we learn this, it shortens the gap between disappointment and recovery, but you don't see it get taught a lot. There's a lot of glossing over and mentioning it, but no real teaching. Two recent events that reinforce the difference this lesson makes, for those of you who've been following the World Cup, both Theo Walcott, who's an England player, and Samir Nasri, a French player, were surprisingly not selected to play for their country, and of course they both felt bitterly disappointed. Their club manager, the Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger, although he expressed his surprise, he also went on to add that at some point players have to face and deal with massive disappointment, and if they allow it, these setbacks can really galvanize them to higher levels of performance and success. Isn't it great that somebody's teaching it? And the chances of them recovering more quickly with that sort of tutelage and coaching are greater than not. The margins between success and failure are greatly impacted by learning to deal with such setbacks. Another example, take a look at Bernie Ecclestone. He was a Formula One driver who was very successful, and then his career was cut short by an accident. And yet he went on to process his disappointment in such a way that he became hugely successful in Formula One through commercial ventures. Compare and contrast that to Jennifer Capriati, a former tennis champion who'd won several Grand Slams only to see injury thwart her progress twice. Her most recent attempt at comeback was short-lived due to injury, and now she's reportedly suffering from depression and has recently taken an overdose. Two people, two major setbacks and disappointments, two different responses, two different outcomes in terms of success and growth. The margins between success and failure are truly thin and often find their pivotal moments in the way we process disappointment. So if you're not being taught these important scientific and human principles, change your coach, your teacher, your mentor. The other aspect of poor processing is to do with the art of growth. That's about the skillful application of all these things. And you know what? So many people fail on the subject of consistency. And a number of times I hear people say that, for example, visualization does not work, and then on further inquiry I learned that they only tried it for a few weeks. Well, no wonder it doesn't work. And another example is cultivating intuition as part of successful living. Few people really cultivate it and then wonder why they're missing out. Many people don't even spend time with themselves, just being still and listening in order to cultivate these qualities, and yet the stillness and the silence, the time spent with self, are essential to cultivating self-awareness, intuition and visualization. So folks, it's time to be honest with yourself about what you consistently practice and how you practice before you dismiss the personal transformation that could occur if you practice differently. Practice, develop the science and art, and address your personal growth in a way that makes for balanced growth. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and until the next video, you make the most of your life and have a wonderful day.